Ears echo. Models throughout all history surround. Faces, eyes peering out from canvas. The artists before feverishly create. Artists throughout history surround, capturing the faces seen for ages. Time becomes universal. We are all entwined forever, past, present, future.
Loie continues dancing, summoning to the stage the rest of the women.
My story, rather, our story, has never been told.
More than just us, all women, everywhere.
Women being silenced, pushed down, ignored.
Made to sit still, smile pretty. History.
History, not ours.
His story made on a painted page.
A photograph.
A silent film or statue seen wildly, everywhere, but still her in ambiguity.
Her story, never told, never heard, never spoken, until now. Truths to be told, lies to be revealed.
The testimony of our characters, of all we did.
Laid bare for all to see, more than naked skin.
Together across decades of time, we come together, a bond unbroken, ties of love for art, for our souls, for each other. We allow our voices to ring forth.
This is us.
Scene 2. All women move Victorine's sofa away from center, move on the other furniture, sit and watch the main speaker.
Ah, la crevette, the shrimp. I have heard of you.
Yes, I have been seen but never known, across a myriad of canvases painted by the hands of many a male artist. My outside fully laid bare, a muse of theirs, or rather, perhaps they were mine. Yet despite the numerous assortment of times my face has been looked at, gazed upon, or quickly passed by, I have never fully received what I desired, to be understood, to be fully known. Thus I shall tell my story, and you yours. I was born in February 1844 to parents Jean Morin, an artisan, and my mother, Louise Lemaire, a hat maker.
Ah, so they were artists then too.
One could say that. They did what they could do to live and care for me as best they could. I learned to play the guitar, the violin, taught music lessons, sang and performed in many a cafe. At the age of 16, I began my modeling career. In my time, I worked with Edgar Degas, Alfred Stevens, my lover, Henri du Toulouse-Lautrec,
Ah, yes, I know him well.
Edward Monet.
Ooh, do tell.
I worked with him quite a bit, and yes, I modeled for the infamous Olympia, with model Laure that caused such a scandal.
Tell us why.
I portrayed a prostitute, laying fully bare, reclined on a bed awaiting my next lover. Laure nearby, fully dressed, and a cat stretching at my feet. Rumors swirled that I was truly that which I posed for. I thought I would never live it down, never climb out towards what was made of me.
All you ever really wanted to do was...
Make art, not be art. Yes, I wanted to leave a lasting impression for what I created, not how I was viewed or perceived based on how others told my story.
Did I hear you say you were lovers with Alfred Stewart?
It is said I was. A woman never fully reveals, unless, yes, I was one of many a sexual proclivity. Male, female.
Hello there.
Yes, I had my fun.
But did you find happiness?
And what of your creations?
I began studying with Etienne Lerat in 1875, when they let women attend the academy. In 1876, I submitted one of my pieces to the Salon. It was accepted. Guess whose wasn't that year?
Edward Monet.
Yes, sadly. What was once a friend seemed to fade as the years went by. As for happiness, I found such in the arms of Marie Dufour. Together we created quite a life. I continued to make music, teach lessons, and work to better myself as an artist.
Lights fade on Victorine as she freezes. Lois stands up.
Upon her death at 83, much of Victorine's belongings were publicly burned, including much of her artwork. Placed atop the fire, it is said, was a violin. It is only in recent times that some of the work of Victorine Meurent is slowly being rediscovered.
Lois walks to Victorine, awakens her, and both turn toward a screen at the back of the stage. All the women watch as images of Victorine's art flows through. As the screen fades to black, Lois leads Victorine towards a place to sit.
Now you, Lois.
I was born Marie Louise Fuller, but you can call me Lois. My birth was January 15th, 1862 in Fullersburg, Illinois.
Oh, did your family found it?
Yes, by my uncle, my father's brother. But now it's been changed to Hinsdale. I took to the stage at 4 years old. Later I would become a traveling performer and actor with several stock theater companies and Buffalo Bill. I performed Shakespeare, yes, gave the temperance lectures, vaudeville, and then burlesque. But my life truly took a turn when I discovered my true calling. I was in this play called Quack MD. Yeah, it was exactly what you're thinking. But during that production, I discovered the power of the alluring Chinese silks, the way they move and flow. It inspired me so much I couldn't leave it alone. I kept rehearsing over and over different ways of the dance and movement with the silks, and then suddenly there it was, the Serpentine. I premiered it first in New York City, February 1892. It was intoxicating to finally know what you were born to do, to create. I felt motivated to keep going, keep creating, keep pursuing. I went to Paris to audition my dance at La Fouille Bergère, and well, there it was, listed, American dancer, Maybelle Stewart, advertised as the dancer of the Serpentine, the thief. I was dumbstruck. I had lost my chance because of this. But then I saw her perform, and you know what? She was absolutely, completely, 100% awful. I took to the stage to audition and won my rightful place, replacing her entirely. The wannabe scene stealer, or literal one, lost her role to the rightful queen. And then there I was, the dancer in Paris, France. My life was truly happening. So was lots and lots and lots of romantic entanglements with brave society women who came and came and came to see me. And my career, well, I was seen so much that I became a muse myself for such artists like Henri Toulouse-Lautrec, Auguste Rodin, and Jules Charest. They who claimed they could immortalize me did not know that I was already doing thus for myself. Every time the stage lights come up on every theater production, one best say a wee thank you to me, for without me,
Lights go out.
there wouldn't be modern day theatrical lights.
The lights come up again.
As a performer dancing upon glass with colored lights beneath, I redefined lighting design and equipment, inventing different means of phosphorescent silhouettes. And in case of unbelief, I patented my invention.
Lois turns to look up at the screen as images of her from the artists and her dancing flash, until one comes up of her and Gab Sorare.
Louis met her life partner, Gabrielle Bloch, known to Louis as Gab Sorare, in the 1890s, and the two would remain strongly committed until Louis' death. Upon her death, Louis gave all the rights of her life and legacy to Gab's safekeeping. However, Gab was listed only as Louis' close friend.
After everything I ever did, to have that taken from me, my dear Gab, to be unseen and invalidated for our true love and devotion, negates everything.
Victorine hugs her and helps her to her place near Fanny.
Let Mama Fanny comfort you with my story, Lois. After all, I did have 10 children of my own.
10 children?
Oy.
If only I could have.
Go ahead, Mama Fanny.
I was born June 23rd, 1835 in Jamaica to my mother, Matilda Foster. Although my mother was a slave, I was born 10 months after the abolition of such in Jamaica.
A free woman, always free.
Not so. Life is never so easy for a woman with my skin color, nor does the effects of the desire for slavery wipe away from social order so quickly. My father, well, I never knew my father. Gone by the time I was born. My mother, she gave me the surname of Entwistle. If I ever had a chance of knowing my father, then it could have been James Entwistle, a British soldier who died 11 days before my birth.
Your mother had a lover?
Did she truly love him?
I'm not sure. My mother never said a word about who my father was, never once. My mother and I moved to England in 1840. As I grew, I began working to help my mother with the bills. And my first job in 1851 was as a domestic servant. I met my James Eaton, and we married in 1857. He worked as a horse cabbie and driver and
10 kids. I sure hope the sex was good.
It was hard to get legal documentation, but James and I needed no piece of paper to show our love for one another. Life was hard. We both had to work many jobs, one of which for me was as an art model at the Royal Academy of Arts for the pre-Raphael lights. I must say, I did enjoy that work the most. It was never, well, it was mostly my face. I posed for the artists, Simeon Solomon, Rebecca Solomon, his sister, and Joanna Boyce Wells, whose portrait, Head of a Mulatto Woman, is most infamous.
Women artists painted you?
Yes, your influence.
In this time of imperialistic England, black models were often used to depict the whiteness, or rather the social status of the white model. Other times they were depicted as other, exotic, and unnamed. But not so with Fanny. She who was too captivatingly beautiful and special is often depicted within a biblical framework prominently displayed in many a piece.
James passed in 1881. Now a widow, I began to work as a seamstress for my family.
Never forget her.
Can I tell my story now?
Yes, Audrey, please do.
Go for it, girl. I am Audrey Marie Munson. My birthday, June 8th, and I was born in 1891 in Rochester, New York. My dad was Edgar Munson, and my mom, Catherine, or Kitty Mahoney, and they were divorced by the time I was 8. My mother raised me, and we were very close. She did everything she could for me. If you have ever visited New York City, then you have most likely seen me everywhere, but you probably didn't know it. I was, and still am, America's first supermodel. Yet no one knows me anymore. I never really thought about modeling or art like that. Growing up in Washington Heights, New York, I dreamed of being an actress. My first time on stage was as the footman in The Boy and the Girl, which played from May 31st to June 19th, 1909, at the Aerial Gardens of the New Amsterdam Theater. I would also act in the plays The Girl and the Wizard, Girlies, and the La Belle Paris. But I was out window shopping with my mom one day when my life really became. I was spotted by the photographer Felix Herzog. Hedgehog? Herzog. He asked me to pose for him. My mom was worried and skeptical at first, so she came with me. And then he referred me as model to other photographers and artists like Isidore Conti, the sculptist.
You worked with a sculptor? I was always interested in that.
Yes, I worked with a lot of different types of artists, but mainly as a sculptor's model.
Image of Manhattan Municipal Building.
That's me at the Manhattan Municipal Building, holding a crown of 5 towers representing the 5 boroughs of New York, the second tallest statue in New York.
Image of New York Public Library on 5th Avenue at 42nd Street.
That's at the New York Public Library, 5th Avenue and 42nd Street. Sculptor Frederick McMoney's called it the personification of beauty.
Image at Columbus Circle.
Here I am at the Columbus Circle, the model for Attilio Pizzerielli's centerpiece for the USS Maine monument.
Image at Uptown at Broadway and 106th Street.
Here I am, uptown on Broadway and 106th Street. I am a water nymph Henry Augustus Luckman designed for the memory of Isidore and Ida Strauss, who died on the Titanic.
Image at Columbia University.
Now, here I am at the Columbia University. Yeah, that college is all in the news right now. I know. I'm alma mater in the form of the goddess Athena.
That's surely a lot.
Hey, thank you. I truly enjoyed it. But I didn't stop there. I got discovered and became a silent film star. First, Purity, which, guess what, talked about what it means to be an artist model. They also called it Innocence. And then also The Girl O' Dreams. But then some really, really bad stuff happened. I was arrested at a showing of one of my films for lack of moral failure, they said. Some film directors thought just because I modeled in the buff, I was theirs for the pleasing. And when I said no, I paid the price. Work dried out. Then there was my landlord, Dr. Walter Wilkins.
She collapses.
Sharing it will release it, Audrey.
He killed his wife. He said, because for me, so he could be free to marry me. He was obsessed with me. I didn't want him, I didn't want that. But no one believed me because of my work. I couldn't find work. I tried again and again. My mom and I had to move to Syracuse, New York, where my mom started working selling kitchen utensils door to door. I started writing and writing. From January to May of 1921, I had a series in the Hertz Sunday magazine entitled By the Queen of the Artists Studios, written by Audrey Munson. But it wasn't after losing everything, my career, being hated, despised, I couldn't. On May 27th, 1922, I tried to end it all. Then a few years later, in May 1931, I had gotten so bad, Mom had to commit me to a mental asylum. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia and depression, and I would live there until my death at 104 on February 20th, 1996.
My name, I am Lily Isla Elvenes, but you can call me Lily, Lily Elba. I am a Danish painter, an art model, and well, I'm a transgender woman, one of the earliest to receive sex reassignment surgery and gender-affirming care. When I was born, I was given the name Einar Wegener in 1882 by my mother, Anne Marie Thompson, and my father, Mogens Wilhelm Wegener. But I am not Einar, nor am I male, I am woman.
Hear her roar!
Some believe that I had Klinefelter syndrome, or intersex, having both male and female organs, but I'll never tell. I mean, I did kind of make mention of it in my autobiography, but you know, all of my official medical records were lost in the war. So who can know? Who cares, really? Because I am not intersex, I am woman. Before I ever came out, when I still thought I was male, I met this beautiful woman, Gerda Gottlieb, while we were students at the Royal Danish Academy of Arts. We would marry in 1904. I did love Gerda, and she really loved me. I know she did. She tried her best early on. We found work as illustrators while pursuing our passions as painters. I painted mostly landscapes. Gerda did work for books and fashion magazines, which is how I discovered my true self. Gerda had this model, Anna Larson, who was often late, so Gerda asked me to stand in for her, wearing the gown she had set aside for the portrait. Wearing that gown, it felt right. I felt at home within myself, at last. When I confessed such to Gerda and Anna, it was Anna who found the name Lily for me. This was a moment that defined me, where I found my freedom truly. I began attending parties and hosting gatherings as the woman Lily. Gerda and I traveled throughout Europe, mostly Italy. Finally, we found sanctuary in Paris, France, and I fully began living as a woman. I gave up painting to fully immerse myself in the art of becoming me, and became forever the muse and model for Goethe. However, I still suffered. I was near to ending it all when I discovered that at Hirschfeld Institute for Sexual Science in Germany, they were beginning to do gender reassignment surgery. A light went on, a glimmer of hope. I went to Germany, went through rigorous psychological testing, before finally going on through 4 surgeries. Removing the testicles first, implanting an ovary, removing the penis and scrotum, and then finally having a vaginal canal orchestrated. I made all the papers, was coined Lily Elba in the Politiken, so I legally changed my name and gender. Sadly, my Gerda and I didn't last. Our marriage was annulled and we went our separate ways. I know she was as heartbroken as I, and I don't think she ever got over me or it or us, her loss of who she thought I was before I came out. Even after my death, she continued to paint images resembling me. And of my death, I fell in love again. I met my Claude Lejeune. He was a French art dealer. We married and desired to have children before we could ever imagine it was possible. But then a possible answer came, a new surgery where they implant a real uterus. I could give my love a baby of our own, a piece of both of us.
Lily's body did not accept the uterus. Her immune system weakened, and an infection led her to her death by cardiac arrest on September 13th, 1931. She was 48 years old. But oh, what a life she lived, with such bravery inspiring many to proclaim their true selves. Each year in Copenhagen, 4 Lily Awards are given out to the Mix Copenhagen LGBTQAI Film Festival in her honor. In the year 2000, writer David Ebershoff wrote The Danish Girl, raising even more awareness on Lily's amazing life. It was made into a film in 2015, starring Eddie Redmayne, a cisgender male, as Lily.
A bit problematic.
Redmayne apologized. The opera Lily Elba, written by Tobias Picker, starring Lucia Lucas, premiered in October 2023. Most notably, Lily Elba collaborated with friend Ernst Harthen on her memoir, Fra Monde Tilkviende, published her friend and editor, Neil Hoyer, after her death.
Excusez-moi.
Ah, the Anya Sorel.
Comment est-il traité autre hommes aussi simplement parce qu'ils sont différents? Qu'il rend cette chose d'apparemment s'il paraissent et
Excusez-moi, madame.
Je ne peux s'il te plaît et je conseillerais de dire aux conséquences d'être juste au vestiaire qui sont maltraités de toute la manière.
Excusez-moi, Madame Sorel.
English. Pardon. I was saying how it makes me feel so mad that humans are treated so badly because they feel different than how they look. They want to live their true lives, and they are punished. I would have none of it. I would advise the king to be just with all his people.
Yes, you would. Tell more about your life, Madame Sorel, please.
I was born in 1422.
So long ago.
Yes. Now hush. I lived in Toronto, France. My papa was a minor nobleman.
A minor nobleman. Pardon, madame.
At an early age, I knew I was bound for greatness. When I was a mere 22, I found my way into the court of King Charles VII as an attendant to King Charles' sister, the Queen of Sicily, Isabel of Lorraine. I studied hard the ways of the court to know the best way to behave, and I made myself one with the nobles and royalty. The king, my love, he fell for me, and he even threatened to leave his pregnant wife for me. I said no, no, and I became the first official mistress or favorite. Take that, Madame de Pompadour. This scandalized the country, as we were open about it, and it had never been done such before. I had wealth, castles, land, a position meant for a queen. But I returned the favor with wise counsel. I helped persuade dignitaries to fund the war efforts, as well as I gave him 4 children.
Oh.
This gave me freedom to make such bold choices with my style. Form-fitting busty dresses, lots and lots of diamond jewelry, which the king outlawed others not to wear, only himself. I defied. Others were horrified, but he loved me more. If you see the painting by Jean Fourquet, I am there revealed as the Virgin Mary with my fashion choice of revealing one breast alongside a low-cut form-fitting dress. I love food, fine dining, and I love to cook. It has inspired many a chef, cook, and food enthusiast. The king's son, Louis, always so jealous of me, he conspired, ruined everything. No, I can do it. My death was at the age of 28, after the premature birth of my 4th child. Very suspicious. When my body was exhumed and studied later, it was found much high amounts of mercury, an unseemly amount, even in my hair. The king's son wanted to be sure of his position as the next in line. But who you see speak for me today bears not my true face. The work of scientists who studied my body and have reconstructed my face as it were. Gaze upon my likeness now.
The spotlight dims on her and the rest of the women and focuses in on the real image of Agnes. The screen darkens, the stage is momentarily dark. A spotlight on center stage to reveal Alice Prim.
I am the Queen of Montparnasse, or rather, Alice Ernestine Prynne, born October 2nd, 1901, died April 29th, 1953. But you can call me Kiki. I was a model, a chanteuse.
What's that?
A lounge singer. I was an actress, a painter, a memorist, and a liberated woman. I lived my life by my own terms.
But at what cost?
My birth was in some shame. I was born illegitimately, in poverty. I spent much of my childhood with my dear grandma. When I was 12, my mother sent for me to live with her in Paris. I was so excited until I found out that she only wanted me there to work and provide money for herself and her lover. I first found boring, steady work as a linotypist, as well as other degrading jobs. But what I really always loved was self-decorating and art, which often left me being to let go of all my various employments. When I was just 14, I posed nude for the first time, a thrilling experience. But when my mother found me, she called me a prostitute and kicked me out.
So how horrible.
I was destitute, I was homeless, and I did not know what to do. The only way for me to earn a living was in nude modeling. Many artists loved me, but nothing like my man Ray. He who photographed, filmed and created art with me, like the one I showed you earlier. As Queen of Montparnasse, there was much indulgences and enjoyment for me.
But at what cost?
Having a lifelong struggle with alcohol and drug dependency, Alice, our Kiki, left this earth at the age of 51 on April 29th, 1953. Her loving family of friends followed her coffin to her final resting place at Cimetière Passant de Taille, where her tombstone simply read, Kiki, 1901 to 1953. Singer, actress, painter,
Queen of Montparnasse.
May I, Victorin?
You don't have to ask my permission. We've been waiting for you and your story, Ms. Marr.
How do I begin?
However you'd like, take your time.
My name. My full name is Henriette Theodora Markovich. But please call me Dora. I chose my last name, Marr. I was born November 22nd, 1907. My mother was French, my father Croatian. My early years of childhood were in Buenos Aires, Argentina. We were well off. I was able to attend the finest of education. My first love ever was with the art of photography. It became more than a gift, but a calling. I went professional for the fashion industry, and I even worked as still photographer for Jean Renault's films. But I personally loved my own work. I really caught in the moment street scenes. I was happy in my career, in my life. Everything changed when I met Pablo Picasso. I can see the day so vividly when my life forever changed. I was having a Café de Margot. It was winter. And my friend Paul Elrod, was a few tables away from me talking to him. He introduced us. Pablo. He captivated me. Alluring? I was never like myself again. I could never be after. He was so profoundly genius. I was swept away in all that was him. I had been painting, although not professionally as much, but Pablo told me, he insisted I give it all up, everything, and just photograph him. I was the one who photographed the making of Guernica. He said it was for posterity, and I just did it. He made me crazy. I never felt so much, cried so much, so hard. He liked it that way. He liked to paint me when I was at my most distraught. See, his weeping woman. He was married. They had a daughter. There were other women besides me. He said that women were machines born to suffer. He loved to see us fight over him. He would laugh. He would encourage. I remember the day I saw him in that cafe with her. I was alone, out in the rain, banging on the window, crying, yelling. He was finished with me. Running down the street from him, he grabbed me. "You are insane," he declared. He locked me away.
Remember her.
Every woman.
More than a still life.
A pretty face.
A sweet smile.
A body.
Remember her for all that she was.
And more.
A painter.
A photographer.
A dancer.
An actress.
A musician.
A mother.
A queen.
A king's advisor.
A trailblazer.
A fire burning ever bright.
A writer.
An inventor.
An influencer, the first ever.
A domestic violence survivor.
No, a thriver.
A woman born free, always free.
Fanny, Dora, and Anya's carry off items. The stage is left bare except for Chloe, Audrey, and Victorine.
A woman brave and bold, not afraid to lay everything bare, forever, for always.
Victorine turns her back to the audience, removes silk robe, playfully tosses it to Loie, who catches it. Victorine exits stage left. Loie dances with the robe around Audrey for a bit before exiting stage left after Victorine. Single spotlight on Audrey.
What becomes of the artists' models? I am wondering if many of my readers have not stood before a masterpiece of lovely sculpture or a remarkable painting of a young girl, her very abandonment of draperies accentuating rather than diminishing her modesty and purity, and asked themselves the question, where is she now, this model who was so beautiful?
Blackout.